Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. We're here once again for another day of movie scratch offs. And today we're talking about one that I'm pretty darn excited. As soon as I scratched it off, I had to go and watch it, and that is Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead from 2004. I was there opening weekend when this came out and loved every minute of it. Snyder was able to change enough things in this film to make it fresh and new and not basically cookie cut things from the Romero film. So, guys, of course, you know I got the Scream Factory 4K release. Come on, you know I have it, and it looks beautiful. This is what I watched yesterday, and guys, I'm telling you, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Now, let's talk about the film, okay? Because I really want to get to it. Really good cast too. We have Ving Rhames. We have, let me see. I want to make sure I get everybody correct here. Ving Rhames is in this. He's like a big part of this film. We also have Jake Weber. We have Mekhi Phifer, Ty Burrell. Now Ty Burrell, I'll get to him in a second. And of course, we have Sarah Polley. Now, the film basically starts off, and it's Sarah Polley is she's like basically our Barbara of the film, in essence, basically, but more of the Barbara from the 1990 Night of Living Dead. She's a little bit more. She has some strength to her. Now she's a nurse working in the hospital when all hell just breaks loose, and then people start coming in, and why are people going to the ICU just for like a little cut on their hand? Why? Because obviously they have been bit. So things break down very quickly in this film. And watching this film again, I definitely noticed that it looks like Zack Snyder borrowed some things from Night of the Living Dead. Not too many, but a few little subtle things that I noticed, or at least for me, I feel like he did, and splicing together with certain things that he took from Romero's classic, but then also made his own, own film that just works on so many levels. Now, when Sarah Polly's character, when things break loose, I mean, basically she's coming home. Things haven't really hit the fan yet. She's coming home from a late shift, going to see her husband. There's a little girl who lives across the street that she, has, she's friends with. And again, we're gonna get into some spoilers, guys. Like I said, I've tried to keep things spoiler free at the very end of the film, but we'll have some spoilers throughout. And this little girl, all of a sudden, like 6:30 in the morning, things have really broken down. And this little girl comes into their house, and her face is just, you could see his full on zombie. She attacks Sarah Polly's husband, kills him. He becomes a zombie, goes after her. But these aren't your ordinary, these are not slow moving zombies. These are fast running zombies, and they are freaking terrifying, and they look great in this film. Now from here, she breaks free, and she gets into her car, and she's able to take off and try to get some distance from her house. But something goes down. Somebody tries to basically get into her car to take over the car and get away themselves. Her car goes crashing down a hill into a tree, very reminiscent of Night of the Living Dead. Therein we meet Ving Rhames' character. He's a cop, and he's just trying to get to his brother, who he believes is alive and at a base, an Air Force base. And they make their way. They find some other survivors, one of them being Mekhi Phifer, and they, of course, make their way from there to the mall. Now, of course, this takes place in Milwaukee, not in Monroeville, not in Pennsylvania, but they make it to this mall. And once we get there, this is where things just it becomes Snyder's own even more. And I've always said this about this film, even though I love this film. The only thing that's really Dawn of the Dead about this is the zombies, the name, and the mall. That is it. Snyder was able to just change it, but change it in a good way, and I like that. I really love it because I love the original so much. I don't want to see just a cookie cutter frame for frame remake of such a film that I love so much. And I would love to go to this mall though. If it's still around, guys, let me know in the comments down below. If it's still around, I would love to go to Milwaukee and check this mall out at some point. But they get into the mall. We see this running zombie, armless running zombie who's chasing after them. Before they get into the mall, and it feels early 2000s the way Snyder shoots this, but it's not. If you have an idea of how early 2000 films look, like I said, like with Saw, okay, we know how like Saw looks. This doesn't look like Saw, but it still has that aesthetic where it feels like an early 2000s film. And of course, other survivors. wind up joining the group along the way, and one of them being Ty Burrell. Now, Ty Burrell, he is, I mean, guys, he's a jackass. I mean, let's just face it, okay? He's a lovable guy in Modern Family, not so much in this one. He's a complete prick in this movie, and you can't. I mean, he does everything to just make you hate him in this film. But I don't want to spoil things because it's he gets what's coming to him. Let's put it that way in this film later on in the film. But it's just I love how he just changed things, Snyder changed things in this film, and even the ending, like even like just the subtle changes, them trying to realizing, kind of like in the original where they realize that what they can't stay in this mall. They need to. They're going to die in that mall if they don't. If they stay there, they need to just get out and just see what's going to happen. They need to take their chances out in the world instead of just staying there and just succumbing to what's ever going to, time just getting to them and dying in that mall. And I love it. And the ending to this film, like I said, I don't want to spoil any things. You can stop the film at the very end at a certain point and get an ending. You can go all the way to the end of the credits. You can get a different ending, depending if you want to, however you want to look at it. That's how I always felt about this film: is you can get a different ending depending on where you stop the film. And for me, I think that's pretty cool. I really do. And I mean, the cameos in this film, Ken Foree from the original Dawn of the Dead is in this. Tom Savini is in this film. We also have I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the guy who plays Roger in the original. All the times I've seen this film, never realized it was him in this quick little cameo, but it is. Roger is in the Dawn of the Dead remake. And like I said, there's a clip where they're talking to someone and he recites basically lines from the original Night of the Living Dead. So as I said, there's certain like subtle little things I didn't really notice before, even though I've seen it many times, that I caught this time around. And I love that. I love when you can watch a film so many times but still find something new every single time you watch it. The gore in this film is top notch. The zombies are freaking awesome in this film. They are top notch as well. I love. There's nothing bad that I can say about this film. I mean, I'm sure there's things that could be nitpicked here and there, but there's nothing I can truly say bad about this film. I absolutely adore this film. Loved it when I first saw it, and I love it even more now. I did watch the unrated director's cut that is on the 4K from Screen Factory. Like I said, guys, it looks beautiful in 4K. I would definitely highly recommend picking up this release. So that is my review for Dawn of the Dead 2004 from Zack Snyder. Let's go ahead and see what's going to be our film for this coming Friday. Let's go ahead and shuffle the cards and see what film we will be dealt. Okay, let's go with this one right here. It is from 2005, 99 minutes, adventure thriller rated R. Let's go ahead and scratch this one off. Is it going to be one that I have, or is it going to be one that I need to go and find? I think I might have this one. Not quite sure, but I think I might have this one. And again, I think it's one that I've never watched, guys. And I love it. I love it when that happens. Sometimes I just find them, I pick them up, and then, I wind up watching them later down the line. But it is The Descent. It is a modern classic. Well, I mean, I guess it's 2005, so it's already, 20 years old? That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But The Descent from 2005, man, I am looking forward to watching this one. Guys, like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I'll catch you in another episode. Take care.